Good morning, Boker Tov. It's wonderful to see everyone streaming in this morning on this beautiful Thursday morning as we gather together on this Torah day during the month of Elul to hear words of Torah, to hear sounds of shofar, and to take note, to focus on those things that give us meaning, perspective, opportunity, challenge in our lives. So, yeah, Joni, good morning and good morning to everyone who is with us. Please feel free to share a greeting with me and the others. Good morning, Annette. Good morning to each of you as we gather together here. It's almost time for us to wish each other those simple words. Good morning, Eleanor. It's wonderful to see everybody here. And so to one, to all, Boker Tov, Boker O. Welcome to Boker Tov from Temple Sinai Congregation of Toronto's daily opportunity to connect, to reflect, and to remember. And good morning to Sulang and Seymour as well. I almost missed your note there. And to Anne as we gather and as we pause. Can you? I find it challenging. Can you really pause this morning? Just stop and be grateful at the physical things that you've already been able to do already today. Let's acknowledge the wonder that they are. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher yatzar et ha'adam b'chokhmah ubarah bo nekavim nekavim chalulim chalulim galui v'yadua lifnei chisei kvodecha שאם ייפתח אחד מהם או ייסתם אחד מהם אי אפשר להתקיים ולעמוד לפניך. ברוך אתה אדוני ורופא כל בשר ומפליא לעשות. Blessed eternal God, creator of the universe, you have fashioned our bodies with wisdom, creating within us a finely balanced network. To stand before you in prayer is itself a fragile miracle. Eternal God, we praise you as the healer of body and spirit. And let's continue by saying thanks for that inner life, for the soul, for that vibrancy that feeds us and connects us both to God and to one another. The soul that you have given me, O God, is a pure one. You have created and formed it, breathed it into me, and within me you sustain it. So long as my soul is within me, I will give thanks to you, eternal my God and God of my ancestors, source of all creation, sovereign of all souls. We praise you, eternal God, in whose hand is the power of all life and the spirit of all flesh. And let's join together, Lasok B'divrei Torah, to recommit ourselves to learning and to a new perspective informed by ancient thoughts and modern reflections. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. V'arev na Adonai Eloheinu et divrei Toratcha b'finu ובפי עמך בית ישראל, ונהיה אנחנו וצאצאינו, וצאצאי עמך בית ישראל, כולנו יודעי שמך, ולומדי תורתך לשמה. ברוך אתה, אדוני, המלמד תורה לעמו ישראל. And let's really consider how these actions, even in small amounts of infinite value, can add to our world and can enrich our lives. Elu dvarim shein lahem shi'ur. These are the obligations whose value cannot be measured. They nourish us in this world and help us to create the world to come. Kibud av va'em, to honor fathers and mothers. Ugmilut chasadim, to perform acts of love and kindness. Bashkamat bet midrash shacharit v'yahovit, to attend the house of study morning and evening. Bachnasat ochim, to welcome the stranger. Ubikul cholim, to visit the sick. Bahachnasat kala, to provide for brides and grooms. Ulevayat hamet, to keep faith with the dead. Viyun tefillah, to pray with sincerity. Bahavaat shalom ben adam l'chavero, to make peace when there is strife, the Talmud Torah keneged kulam, and the study of Torah is equal to them all. Study of Torah really does add to our lives. It does give us that sense of meaning. Learning Torah is not an individual, isolated thing, but something to do together. We do moments like this together. Good morning, Fern and Lance and Gloria, for joining us today, because it really is an opportunity for us to learn anew. So let's do our Torah study now. At this point in our gathering today. As on this Thursday morning, it is Torah Day, and it's amazing that we've already reached Ki Tavo. We've already gotten ourselves very close to the end of the book of Dvarim, of Deuteronomy, as Yom Kippur falls on Shabbat, and then a Shabbat during Sukkot. There are fewer Shabbatot at this time of year to finish the Torah reading than when the holidays fall on other days of the week. But the beginning of Parashat Ki Tavo, interestingly enough, tells us of the beginnings of Shavuot, of the holiday of Shavuot, our early summer festival. And yet the early words in it, where we bring our first fruits to the temple, and we declare the Vidui Bikurim, this statement or the confession of the first fruits, which starts Alami Oved Avi, and becomes later on in Jewish evolution after the Torah, the heart of the Pesach Seder. So this portion, which is essential to both Shavuot and Pesach, is obviously an incredibly influential part of Torah. And it focuses, as I said, on bikurim, on first fruits. And I thought it might be meaningful this morning to take a moment to say, well, what does that mean? How is it that one identifies first fruits, especially since most of the generations of our people by now have not been farmers? So what does this have to tell us? And I think sometimes the commentary I'm going to share, while most of his words are from earlier sources, comes from Rashi, trying to identify, well, what does it mean to have bikurim, to have first fruits, those things that ripen first? I guess we could be out in the fields looking for them, but what would even that mean? And so here is where our tradition gives us an answer that I think is as relevant to us, even those of us who have no knowledge of farming at all. You can see in the second verse of the Torah portion, the part in blue, it says, "You shall take some of every first fruit of the soil which you harvest from the land that the eternal your God is giving you. Put it in a basket and go to the place where the eternal your God will choose to establish the divine name." And if we look on the right side, I have the commentary panel open this morning of Sefaria, not just the Torah text panel. And Rashi's last comment on this verse of its first fruits, he says, you should bring of the first fruits, but not all the first fruits, not even of the 7 species mentioned above, the 7 types of plants that enrich the land of Israel. It says, but when a person goes out into the field and sees for the first time that year a fig that is ripened, that person binds a piece of straw around it in an indication and says, behold, this is bikurim. This is first fruits. They added, and it suffices. I want you to think about the symbolism of doing that. We are in a time where the year is turning. We have only days remaining until, in a larger sense, it switches from summer to fall. And what is it that the Torah tells us to do at this time? This portion is always read at this time. It says, go out into the world, go out into where your life is creating new things, is being productive, and identify even something that you've done for a long time, something new about it, something bright about it, something that is ripening about it, and tie a string around it so that you see it. And each time you see it, you remember, yeah, that is part of the sweetness and beauty and nourishing moments that are being brought into the world by my activities here. Our world is not an easy place. It's very challenging. Thinking very hard of how to come up with things to say on the holidays that aren't all difficult, because so much difficulty is happening in the world. And in doing that, what we really want to do is identify those positives as well and tie a string around them. Make sure that we don't forget them, because there really are so many of them in our world. And so in that spirit, let us say our psalm of gratitude. Let's start with the words of Baruch She'amar, and then we will continue with Psalm 100 to say, yeah, every moment can be something that we could notice and be grateful for. Let me make sure to get this up on the screen. Please join me in Hebrew and English. Baruch She'amar v'haya ha'olam. Blessed is the one who speaks, that we might listen. Blessed is the one who acts, that we might be witnesses. Baruch hu u'baruch shemo. Blessed is the one who decides, that we might accept. Blessed is the one who has mercy, that we might live. Baruch She'amar v'haya ha'olam. Blessed is the one who removes the darkness, that we might see. Blessed is the one who lives forever, that we might believe. Blessed is the one who saves and delivers, that we might be redeemed. And now Mizmor LaTodah, a psalm of gratitude. Let all the earth sing to the eternal. Find joy in service of the sacred. May every word lead one to encounter the divine presence. May we sense the Holy One within us and in all creation. Discover sacred purpose in every moment. The eternal is our infinitely capable creator. God forms our purpose and potential. Enter the gates with gratitude. Bring praise and thanks and bless the divine name. The divine love of the eternal allows us to find good in everything and strengthens the faith of each generation. And so we join every generation of our people and recite these words affirming God's unity, human unity, and our connection to one another through living a life of love. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Vaed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, Bechol levavecha, Uvechol nafshecha, Uvechol meodecha. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וגשלתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת עליהם, ויעשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורותם. ונתנו על ציצית הכנף פתיל תכלת, והיה לכם לציצית, וראיתם אותו, וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני, ועשיתם אותם, ולא תטורו אחרי לבבכם, ואחרי עיניכם, אשר אתם זונים אחריהם, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת. Well, let's continue with a prayer that should come automatically to our lips, a prayer for the soldiers of the IDF, which is also a prayer for peace. To those who, with a different perspective, the connection there may not be obvious. But peace is impossible in a world of both good and evil. The first story in the Torah affirms that our world has always been a place of good and evil, and that without strength, evil will just overrun good. And that doesn't mean that everything done by any group, any soldier, any IDF, anyone is all good. But its goal is, like the D in IDF, to defend and to create a world, like it says here, where war is not taught anymore. מי שברך אבותינו אברהם, יצחק ויעקב ואמותינו שרה רבקה לאה ורחל, הוא יברך את חיילי צבא ההגנה לישראל ושאר מגיני עמנו העומדים על משמרתם. ישמרם הקדוש ברוך הוא ויצילם מכל צרה וצוקה, מכל נגע ומחלה, וישלח ברכה בכל מעשה ידיהם, ויקוים בהם הכתוב, וכיתתו חרבותיהם לעתים, וחניתותיהם למזמרות. לא יישאו גוי גוי חרב, ולא ילמדו עוד מלחמה, וישבו איש תחת גפנו, ותחת תאנתו, ואין מחריד, ונאמר אמן. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless the soldiers of the IDF and all who defend our people. May the Holy One guard them against all difficulty and distress, injury and illness. May all of our actions bring blessing, fulfilling the prophet's words. Let them beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Let nation not lift up sword against nation, and may they learn war no more. May all sit under a vine or fig tree with none to make them afraid. And together we say, Amen. And now we turn to our prayer for those in need of strength and healing. Those who are in our circle of friends, those who are trying to deal with an acute illness, those who are making their way with strength or with challenge through their last days and last moments. Those facing ongoing illness or new elements within it, those trying so hard to work back to a part of life that feels right and stable. And of course, we include with all of them those who are injured near and far, and those who are isolated, especially those forcibly isolated, the captives, and therefore their families, treated so cruelly by terrorist Hamas and their allies. It's in that spirit that we turn to these words for all those whose names have been given to me and given to Temple, for those placed in the chat in this or other services. We turn to these words of refuah. מי שברך אבותינו אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, אמותינו שרה רבקה לאה ורחל, הוא ירפא את כל מכותינו. יהי רצון מלפניך אדוני אלוהינו, לאחל עמם ולרפאותם, וישלח לנו מהרה רפואה שלמה ועטרת שלום, ונאמר Amen. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless and heal all who suffer. May it be the divine will to provide healing and strength. Reveal to us the holiness of life, the wholeness of shalom, and let us say together, Amen. And we pause now as we remember, recalling those who died in recent days and weeks, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we've taken into our own hearts with our own. In the past 30 days, we extend our condolences to the families of Minky Lipson, Alan Gerskup, Joanna Sloan, Faye, Kate, Anna Mae Silverman. And we remember all victims of terror and war, including Adrian Marcello, Alex Lubnov, Almog Sarusi, Arnon Zamora, Carmel Gat, Eden Yerushalmi, Gidon Perry, Hirsch Goldberg Poland, Liron Yitzhak, Ori Danino, Roni Shakuri, Yochanan Shchori, Yuri Birnbaum, and the following IDF soldiers whose lives have been lost during this 30-day period: Yochai Chai Galam, Agam Naim, Amit Bakri, Amit Friedman, Jerry Gidon Hanhel, Dotan Shimon, Shachar Bin Nun, Yotam Yitzhak Peled, Daniel Alush, Mordechai Yosef Ben Shoam, Ori Ashkenazi Nehemiah, Tom Ish Shalom, David Moshe Ben Shitrit, Daniel Mimon Toaf. And on yahrzeit, on the anniversary of their deaths. On this 16th day of the month of Elul, the 19th of September, 2024, we honor the life and legacy of Max Chaikin, Emma Jenna, David Lerner, Frank Levine, Sarah Littman, Minnie Lubick, Ann Millstone, Boris Rose, Tasha Rotenberg, Helen Schilling, Dorothy Schum, Irving Siegel. Zichronam Livracha. May their memories be a blessing to us. Our griefs and our sympathies are mingled as we turn together to words sanctified by memory, words glorified by hope. Yit gadal v'yit kadash sheme rabba, ve'alma divrach chirute v'yamlich malchute, v'chayechon v'yomechon, v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'gala v'zman karev v'mo, amen. Yehe shme rabba mevarach le'alam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitlomam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemede kudsha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechemata tamiran v'alma v'mu amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shmaya v'chaim alenu ve'al kol Yisrael v'mu amen. Oseh shalom b'momav hu yaseh shalom Alenu ve'al kol Yisrael v'mu amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and bring comfort and strength to all who remember. And together we say, amen. Before the blowing of the shofar, just a moment of gratitude from Temple, recognizing that a contribution has been made to the Minyan Fund by Marty Schum, observing yahrzeit for Dorothy Schum. It's very meaningful to be here with you this morning. Looking forward to continuing that tomorrow. Boker O, Boker Tov, Tekiah. Boker O, Boker Tov. Make it a good one.